Good morning students. Welcome to our e-learning class. Students, today in this video we are going to start a new chapter called Indian Economy from 1950 to 1990. Indian Economy from 1950 to 1990. This chapter we have taken from the book Indian Economic Development. Clear students? And in this chapter today we are going to cover the following topics. Introduction will be there, then various economic systems, under that capitalist economic system, socialist economic system, mixed economic system, what is a plan, about planning commission, the goals of 5-year plan, growth. Again the goals are, these are the goals: growth, modernization, self-reliance, equity. These are the goals of 5-year plans. So these topics we are going to cover in this video. This chapter is very important from the examination point of view. Definitely objective questions and short questions will be asked from this chapter. So here students, please be attentive towards this chapter. Watch this video carefully and listen to my lecture carefully. Okay students, right, start. On 15th August 1947 we got independence from the British colonial rule. After a long period of what? Under colonization. After 200 years of colonial rule we got independence on this date, 15th August 1947. Now we became the masters of our own destiny. We became the masters of our own destiny. I mean, we can rule whatever way we can like. Okay. Now, the leaders of independent India had to decide among other things, that what type of economic system we are going to adopt besides all the other problems, partition problems, okay, everything. So the leaders of independent India has to decide among other things the type of economic system which will be most suitable for our country India, because our country for a long time was a colonial country. We were under British control. So for such a country, what type of economic system will be the most suitable? They thought that one. Next, I mean, they want such economic system which will promote welfare to all the people but not the few. The leaders, they decided that they want to choose such economic system which helps in promoting the welfare to all the people but not for few individuals. Our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he is always having lean towards socialism. He is in favor of socialism. Okay, so socialism appealed to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru the most. He liked socialism. However, he is not in favor of that socialism which was adopted by Russia. He is the favor of socialism. He is the lover of socialist ideas, but is not the favor of that socialism which was adopted by Russia. Because in Russia, every means of production, everything was under control of government, owned by government. There is no scope for private ownership. So such socialism he don't want. So such socialism he does not want in India. He wants a socialism which will encourage development, where government role should be there and private individual role also should be there. So however, he is not in favor of the kind of socialism established in the former Soviet Union, where all the means of production, example all the factories and farms in the country were owned by the government. He is not in favor of that one. There is no private property at that time. So it is not possible in a democracy like India. It is not possible. I mean, those features are not possible in our country India. Okay, for the government to change the ownership of pattern of land and other properties of its citizens in a way that it was done in the former Soviet Union, it is very impossible in our country India. So Nehru and other thinkers, Nehru along with other thinkers, they thought a new system which includes socialist principles, but it should be against of capitalism. They want a system which always includes socialist principles but against of capitalism. So they decided to choose an economic system which will read further. Now first, various economic systems. Students, there are three economic systems are there in the world. Three economic systems, namely socialist economic system, capitalist economic system, and mixed economic system. I repeat, socialist economic system, capitalist economic system, and mixed economic system. Or first, capitalist economic system, socialist economic system, and mixed economic system. These are various economic systems in the world. Now I will tell each system and its features. Each system and the features of those systems. What is a capitalist economic system? A capitalist economic system is defined as a system in which the means of production, the means of distribution, the means of exchange, everything was owned by individuals or individual proprietors. I repeat, a capitalist economic system is an economic system in which all the means of production, distribution, exchange, resources, everything are owned by, controlled by, regulated by the private individuals. Individuals are the owners or individual proprietors. And in this system, there will be free marketing conditions will be existed. Free marketing conditions. I mean, anyone can bring anything and anything he can sell in the market at any price. Any producer can brought anything in the market and can sell at any price in the market. Price mechanism is the main tool of this system. Price mechanism. That means supply and demand forces will be determined by the price. Price is the main tool of this capitalist economic system. Price mechanism. Okay. The main aim of the system is making more and more profits, profit maximization. And in this system, the government interference will be either nil or minimal. Either nil or minimal. This type of economic systems are generally adopted by North America and Western European countries. North America and Western European countries. Now move to the next one. What is meant by socialist economic system? A socialist economic system is an economic system in which everything is controlled by the government. The production, the distribution, the exchange, everything owned by, regulated by, controlled by the government. Here there is no scope for individual owners or private entrepreneurship or individuals. Okay, so socialist economic system is a system in which there is a collective public ownership. Ownership of the means of production on all economic decisions are taken by some central authority, I mean government, of the government, with a view to what? Maximize social welfare. In this system, the main aim is what? Welfare. Welfare is the main aim of socialist economic system. In this system, the private individuals or individual ownership will not be there. Private ownership will not be there. Everything is managed and controlled by the government. And the main aim is what? Welfare. So centralized planning is the main tool of this socialist economic system, centralized planning. Such system is adopted by Eastern European countries, Cuba and China. Eastern European countries, Cuba and China, they adopted this type of system. Now third one, mixed economic system. A mixed economic system is an economic system in which you will find both the features of capitalist and also socialist. So a system in which both the socialist and capitalist features are together, that is called mixed economic system. In this system, both government control and private ownership, both will be existed side by side. I mean, all the main and major fields or departments are under control of government, and some fields, some sectors are given to the private ownership. So both are run by side. And in this system, also this system adopted by India, our country India and Malaysia and many other countries. Now coming to our next topic, what is plan? What is meant by plan? So students, you should know here plan means what? A plan spells out, a plan spells out how the resources, how the resources of a nation, a plan always tells that how the resources of a nation should be put into use. A plan always tells us how the resources of a nation put into use. It should have some general goals. A plan will have some general goals as well as some specific goals which are to be achieved within a specific time span, specific time period. India adopted 5-year plans. India, or I can say in India, plans are of 5 years. That means our plans is meant for 5 years duration, which are called 5-year plans. And this 5-year plans concept we borrowed from our former Soviet Union, which is the pioneer in the field of national planning. Soviet Union is a pioneer in the field of national planning. From that country we borrowed this idea and we implemented in our country India, these 5-year plans. Okay, now moving to next one. There are annual plans also. Annual plans which are yearly plans. 5-year plans means a plan meant for 5 years, a period of 5 years. Annual plans means what? A plan for 1 year or individual year. At the same time, there will be perspective plans. More than 20 years or 20 years plans. So annual plans will be there, perspective plans will be there, and 5-year plans will be there. In India, we adopted 5-year plans, and sometimes we adopted annual plans also in order to bridge the gap between 2 5-year plans. Now, coming to next one, planning commission. Students, before the beginning of 5-year plans, I would like to say here, I told we adopted such an economic system which includes socialist features at the same time, which will always resist the capitalist features. So we encouraged both public sector as well as private sector in our country, India. The industrial resolution policy, which was started in 1948. Yes, industrial resolution policy started in 1948. So the industrial resolution policy of 1948 and the direct to principal state policy of our Indian constitution reflected the outlook of India's economic system. And in our country India, we have set up the planning commission in March 1950. In March 1950, we have set up the planning commission. And this planning commission was given the responsibility, the task to coordinate, to implement all the 5-year plans in our country India. So far we have completed 12 5-year plans, but after that one, in the middle of the 12th 5-year plan, in 2014, with the coming up of Narendra Modi ji, the BJP government, he abolished the 5-year plan system or the planning commission in our country India, and it was replaced by Niti Aayog. So from 2014, there is no 5-year plans or no planning commission. It was replaced by Niti Aayog. So now Niti Aayog is coordinating the development of various fields in our country, India. Now, the goals of 5-year plans. So what are the goals of 5-year plans? Students, a plan should have some clear specified goals. I told, generally, planning is adopted by every country in the world. Every country in the world adopted planning. But it varies, depends upon the stage of development of the country. Some adopted prescriptive plans, some adopted annual plans, some adopted 5-year plans, or like that. So like this, and every country have some general goals of planning, and at the same time, there will be some general goals of planning in the country. At the same time, there are some specific goals for each 5-year plan. So in our country India also, there are 4 or 5 general goals are there about planning in India. At the same time, each 5-year plan also we are having some specific goals. So same thing said here, a plan should have some clear specified goals. The goals of the 5-year plans are growth, modernization, self-reliance and equity. Growth, modernization, self-reliance and equity. These are the 4 important goals of 5-year plans in our country India. Now, I'll explain. Growth. It refers to increase in country's capacity to produce the output of goods and services within the country. What is growth? It refers to the increase in the country's capacity to produce the output of goods and services within the country. It implies that either large stock of productive capital or an increase in the efficiency of productive capital and services like transport, banking, and communication, etc. In other words, it means steady increase in the gross domestic product. Growth means what? Whenever we increase our GDP, okay, is called growth. It is necessary to produce more goods and services if the country needs to achieve higher growth level. If you want to grow, have more growth level, we have to produce more and more goods and services within the country. Now, modernization. It is necessary to adopt a new technology. It is necessary to adopt new technology in order to increase production of goods and services. To increase production of goods and services, we need new technology. Adoption of a new technology is called modernization. What is modernization? Adoption of a new technology is called modernization. However, modernization does not refer to the use of new technology but also to change in social outlook such as women empowerment. I mean, not only adopting the new technology but also changing the social outlook. For example, empowering the women. A modern society makes use of the talents of women in the workplace so that the society will be more civilized and prosperous. Now, self-reliance. What is the meaning of self-reliance? It refers to utilization of country's resources in order to promote economic growth and modernization. I repeat, self-reliance refers to utilization of country's resources in order to promote economic growth and modernization without using the resources imported from the other countries. It means avoiding imports. Self-reliance means what? Avoiding imports avoiding imports of goods, okay, which could be produced, and these goods should be produced within the country India itself. It is necessary in order to reduce our dependence on foreign countries. We should not depend upon foreign countries. We should be self-reliant. We should not import goods. We should produce those goods within the country India itself. So we should stop depending upon foreign countries in order to safeguard the sovereignty, independence of the country and unnecessary foreign interference in our own policies. The last one, that is equity, not equality, equity. Students, it means equal distribution of income and wealth. Equity refers to equal distribution of income and wealth among the people in the society. Equal distribution of income and wealth among the people, among the citizens of the country within the society. It is important to ensure that the benefits of economic development, should reach to the poor sections of the society as well instead of being enjoyed by the rich only. All the benefits should reach to the needy and poor people along with rich people, but not only to the rich people. It is necessary that every people of a country should be able to meet their basic needs such as food, education, health facilities in order to reduce the inequality. So students, in this way we have covered all the topics today. Hope you have understood all these concepts. Now we will come with some more topics in the coming video from the same chapter. Till then, take care.